This is Lindsay Says, because somebody has to say it. I never thought I would say that. Welcome back, my Bravo besties. Let's just get right into this because I have had the craziest week. So I'm sure you saw on social media that I was invited to the House of Stassi event. And it was a dream come true, and I will get to that. But leading up to it was like, I mean, when you look at the big picture, it wasn't that big of a deal, but it's not that far of a flight from Michigan to New York. And I was dealing with an all-day situation. So I was at the DTW airport, Detroit, and I was sitting in the airplane, like everything was going flawlessly. Okay. And I was thinking Mercury in retrograde is over. Everything's going to be great. I get on the plane. Everything's wonderful. I'm in Comfort Plus. My husband got me in Comfort Plus. Having a great time, listening to music, editing posts or whatever. And then we're not moving. We're sitting on like where we're about to take off. We were sitting there for hours. Like the guy comes on the speaker and goes, "Sorry, we're going to have to sit here for an hour. Maybe two. They're low staff right now in LaGuardia." Okay, what does that have to do with me right now? We're like 2 hours away. What does that have to do with us? Like, let's just get in the air and deal. So then they said, they go on the speaker and they're like, "Never mind. It's going to be 15 minutes. We're like, "Okay, sweet." And then like 15 minutes later, they're like, "Yeah, never mind. It's going to be like 2 hours." And then they come back on and they're like, "We'll let you know an update in like 15 minutes. And then they're like, "Yeah, we're going to go back to the gate and get some fuel." And me and my neighbors start all talking to each other like, what the F is going on? And they're blaming like storms and stuff like that. And I feel like they typically fly through storms. Like, I feel like I've thrown through all sorts of weather, snow. Like I've had my plane de-iced a million times. I'm like, what are we sitting here for? And we have a friend that works for Delta. He's a captain. He's a pilot. And so I was texting him like, what is going on? And all he said was, "Oh boy, it's going to take a long time for New York to recover from this." And I'm like, what the F is going on? Are they just not telling us something? So they get back to the gate and then we're like, okay, are they going to fuel us? And me and my neighbors were like, they're definitely not fueling us. Like, we couldn't feel anything. Like, we couldn't feel them fixing anything. We were just sitting there. And then the captain comes on and I'm like, oh, this isn't good. And he was like, "Yeah, so everyone's going to have to deplane. And you guys can just sit there and, look for updates. And then everybody can come back on." And I'm like, okay. I grabbed all my stuff. I already grabbed all my stuff. When they said we need to go get gas, I was like, I'm packing all this up. And they're like, "Do you know something?" I'm like, "Nope. I just have a gut feeling we're getting off this plane." So then I get off, and then my husband was so quick and he got me a flight to DC that was a layover to New York City. And I'm like, oh gosh. He's like, "Would you rather come home right now and go to the airport in the morning here, or just go to DC and see if you can get there tonight?" And I was like, I'm just going to go tonight. So while I was on the flight, my next flight for New York was getting delayed. And then they finally canceled it before I even landed. Okay, so now I'm stuck in DC. I get a hotel room. And by the way, Delta's like, "Yeah, that's not an us issue. That's an airport issue." And they weren't covering my hotel, which I need to check with Tori if he figured that out. But, got back at my hotel around like 10, made a post about the Valley outfits, which, by the way, I was tired as hell, and said that I liked Brittany Bateman, that I liked Brittany Cartwright's dress. Maybe it's because I was tired, okay? Or maybe it's really not that bad. We'll get to it. But then woke up at 4 a.m., flew to New York. It was flawless. But for a second, we were sitting there, and I'm like, please tell me this is not happening again. And it wasn't. And then I had the best Uber driver ever, who like has like the same mindset as me about like positive thinking and things like that, and not being around negative people. And I feel like it all happened so I could have that car ride with her. She was just like the most precious lady ever. So then I'm having like a day in New York City, and the event at 7 that night, 7 p.m. So I just was walking around a lot, and I aimlessly walked to these docks and saw Lady Liberty by accident. Just walked all around, was going to shop, didn't really find anything that I wanted to buy. Got so many steps in. And then went to the Stassi event, and I got an Uber to the event because I thought it was going to rain, even though I'm like a 10-minute walk from the corner store, I believe it was called. And flawless event. And I was excited to go because Stassi followed me like just a few days before that. I'm like, maybe like we're like friends now. And we met at the Hulu event in April, and I'm like, we've met before. She follows me, and she came up to me and like it's like she knew me or something. It was surreal. Like the fact that I've been watching this, Vanderpump Rules, been watching her since I was pretty much a teenager. It's just insane that I get to be a part of all of this and get to hang out with Katie Maloney, who was stunning. She had the coolest dress on. Her boyfriend's so nice. Christina Kelly complimented my outfit and asked if we could share wardrobes. I mean, what? I got to tell Stassi about my aura reading because they had you sit on this thing with your hands on this thing. You guys can go look at my post. And then it reads your aura, and this woman is sitting there and tells you like what everything means about like me, like just every detail. And she said that you have 3 spirits following you, and she thought that one of them was a dog. And so I think it could be my dog that recently passed like a year ago, or my other like favorite dog of my life that passed right around the time that I met my husband. And I just almost sobbed at the event. They had beautiful beverages, the Stassi Spritz. I want a million of them, espresso martinis. And so we're just hanging out, and I'm talking to other content creators. That's one of my favorite parts. It's just like relating to other content creators who do what I do and not like feeling like a weirdo out here in Michigan. I'm like talking to people who do the same exact thing and making friends with them. Like I had so much fun with Josh the Roni Stan. If you don't follow him, go look for him. Some other creators that don't do Bravo stuff, but that were invited. Great time. And then from one of the creators, she was like, yeah, I got to see the invite list. And she's like, I think some people from Summer House are coming. And I was like, wait, what? And Kyle Cook walks in, and I didn't know if he liked me or not, because I swear he was avoiding me at BravoCon, but this was such a small event that I was like, he has no choice. He has no choice today. We are going to talk. And he was first talking to Bo and Stassi, of course. And I was standing behind them. Like, we got to like just mingle the whole time. Okay. Like Amanda Hirsch was there. That Olympian girl was there. I didn't get a chance to talk to everybody, but, right when he was done talking to Stassi and Bo, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm Lindsay, the Bravoholic on TikTok and Instagram. He's like, wait, have we ever officially met? And I was like, no, we have not. And he was like, I think what you do, I'm trying to think of the exact words. He's like, I think the work that you do is phenomenal. And I'm like, what? And the fact that I'm ripping on your still wife. I'm ripping on your wife for months. And apparently what I do is phenomenal. I've also ripped on him, but such a good compliment. That and Christina Kelly wanting to share wardrobes. I mean, am I in heaven? And then I went to the front at one point to go get another beverage. And I mean, I'm just standing there, and my favorite content creator of all time, his name is Dylan. He is so freaking funny. He's the one that says STFU and F me. If you ever watch him, he's so freaking funny. Go look him up. He is so funny. And I was like, oh my God, you're my favorite. You're my favorite. I post about Bravo. I comment on your stuff all the time. I love how I was more excited to talk to him than anybody else there. But I got to talk to him for a second. I thought that I overwhelmed him because he just came in the door. And so I tried to leave him alone the rest of the night, because you don't really know like if you're bothering somebody or something. But he was standing by me for a while. And I think that I could have easily talked to him and become his friend, which I would love to be his friend. Would love to. Great. So funny guy. And you can just tell that he's just naturally just being himself. Oh, and then in the morning when I'm at the airport going back, by the way, the flight back was flawless and I got to come home and be with the family. But he followed me on my flight home, or like right before my flight. And I was so excited. So we're besties. I was like, am I in heaven? I don't understand how this stuff is happening. Next stop, the only thing that's better than all of this is me meeting Justin Bieber. And if you know me, that's the top for me. If I get to meet Justin Bieber, that's it. I mean, I've made it. But I had the best time. I flew back to Michigan, and then Tori had to leave for a work trip like literally 5 hours later, not even. So he's in Vegas right now. So we will not have an Ask Tori segment. He's at a meeting. Otherwise we would have done like a Zoom or something. But also we were apart all week and he didn't really watch any of the shows. He hasn't even watched House of Stassi, which we will get into. And I think that he would relate a lot to Bo, honestly. I feel like I'm living the same life, only like a way lower level. Like she is it. But yeah, I had the best time. The absolute best time. And I'm exhausted. I'm genuinely exhausted. But we will get into the rest of the Bravo topics with Say Less, Spill More. Say Less, Spill More. Let's start with this heartbreaking news. I made a whole post about it if you want to see all the details. It's such a hard topic for me to even talk about because it's so sad. Like I was thinking about it the whole rest of the day when I was in New York, just this horrible story about Melania's friend that passed, and she was 20 years old, and their next door neighbor, so Joe Giudice, even posted about her saying, I can't believe you're gone and stuff like that. And she just was traveling for the weekend to Florida, and they were looking at old historical ruins of some kind and ended up falling off of a really high structure. And there's pictures in my post if you want to see it. I mean, it's a horrible, horrible story. And it's like this, they're up on this high thing, and then there's one level, which is like the ground. And then if you look really closely, it looks like there's like stairs that go lower. So instead of her falling, you know, just to the ground, which she probably could have broken a leg or something just from falling there, gotten really hurt. She fell all the way down. I have no idea the details of it, but because they were on an island, it took a really long time for the medics to find her. And all of her friends did whatever possible to help her. But she did end up passing 2 days later. It's horrible. If you want the whole story, I did post about it a couple of days ago. I just don't want to get into like all of the details because I literally have chills about it. I feel sick for, and the people were mad at me that I was talking about the Giudices when making this post, but I post about Bravo stuff. I think the majority of people understand that the reason why I am talking about it is because it is related to Bravo, and every Giudice family member pretty much was posting about it or in the comments about it. And I know there were people out there that were wondering what the heck happened. And so that's why I was posting about it. There's no other reason for me to post about this poor girl. But yeah, I'm thinking about her family and the Giudices because that's who we know is the Giudices. And that's why we're talking about it. But just be safe out there. Even if you're just having fun, be safe. Look at your surroundings. What could hurt me? Like, I mean, it was an accident. Freak accidents happen all the time. And I'm very sad for her. I'm very sad for her family. And it's just sickening. And I worry about Melania because she was already kind of going through it with her arrest in May. And I hope that she can get some support and work her way through this because this is just horrible. So I posted a couple days ago that it was official that Sally was at the Summer House and that she was the first person to post the house. And she commented on that post and said that it's not the house. So it's not the house. However, it is confirmed that Sally will be going to the house. So all of the other things that I said in that video about her, like hanging out with Sierra, who, you know, dated Wes and Austin, same as Sally, is friends with Paige, who dated Craig that Sally went for. And the dynamics with Lindsay, with Austin, she will be going to the house. She will be making a cameo, which I'm very excited about. And I wonder if she will also bring Vanita at some point because that's one of her best friends and one of Sierra's best friends. And it would be so interesting to see that. And I hope that if Sally comes, you know, maybe one time just herself, one time with Vanita, I think that would be gold television. And for the people that are so hard on Sally, I like Sally. I think she is a fun person. Who cares if she runs around town? I mean, she owns it. She is who she is. It's not bothering anybody else. Just do your thing. I mean, she has a type. Who cares? I mean, whatever. She's on TV. It's not like she's trying to get on TV. She's on TV. All right, let's get into the Valley reunion looks. Listen, when I judge reunion looks, I try to take the person out of the dress, because I don't want to be like, okay, I don't like that person, so I'm not making them best dress. Which, by the way, the other day, I don't care for Shamia. I made Shamia best dress out of the Atlanta girls because she is best dress. On some level, I try to picture like, what would I wear if I were on the show? Okay. And so when I was thinking about Brittany at 10 p.m. at night, exhausted, by the way, she recently blocked me, I think. I mean, I noticed recently that she blocked me, and I'm trying to be nice. Like she's has some body image issues. She did a mommy makeover. She just announced that she's on a GOP-1, and I'm trying to boost her a little bit. And so I'm picturing, what would this dress look like on me is really what I'm thinking the majority of the time. Like, would I wear this? Was it my favorite? Not even close, okay? But I didn't like her dress last season, the yellow. I didn't like it. I would never wear that to a reunion. And this was a step up in at least like more glam, okay? And so I'm giving her a plus. And I think that it wouldn't be that awful. And I think a lot of people just judge her for her appearance and are being hard on the dress because they're being hard on her. Do I love the dress? No. Do I see what you guys are saying? Yes. Do I think the dress is that bad? No, I don't. And I feel bad for her because you guys, she's dealing with body image issues and she is hearing it left and right. Like, she will go and get a tummy tuck and people are still talking about her like that. That's gotta be rough. Is she my favorite person? No, but I like to root for people. Especially when everybody's like going after her. I don't know. Anyways, the dress isn't that great, but it's not that bad either. You guys are right. And I was really tired. Okay. Can you forgive me? Thank you so much. In other Valley news, the clips for the reunion came out where Danny is talking about how Seth Rogen doesn't even know like Dark Side Danny, whatever. And like last season, we were all about Danny and Nia. Because I think that Janet went too hard and she was annoying and she was being Fana. And now it's like, okay, she's changed and she's calmed the F down a little bit. By the way, somebody commented this week saying that I have vocal fry. I am exhausted. Okay, I don't know if that counts as vocal fry. I am just tired. I went to a concert last week, was up till 3 a.m, then all of these flights and my children. Okay, I'm doing my best. But sorry for the vocal fry. It's there. But Seth Rogen clapped back at Danny because he mentioned his name and he said, keep my name out of your mouth, and then said that he's off the rails and that he thinks that his behavior is not okay. And Seth Rogen loves, the Vanderpump Rules stuff. And he was after Jax last season. He did not like Jackson. He's big on like the drama, but he doesn't want like a bad person on TV. And he even stopped being friends with James Franco, his best friend who he used to make movies with because of allegations towards him. You think that he's going to like Danny? I don't think so. But it's very interesting that he tried to pull his name into it. And last night on Watch What Happens Live, Shannon Bedore was there, and Andy asked her about how Rodrigo said that she wasn't very nice to him, and she said that she doesn't remember him, and her daughter even said that she didn't know who he was. I mean, do they watch Southern Charm? I feel like they would only know who he is if they watch Southern Charm. If they don't, like, he's like a smaller character. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's not like Shep or Craig or something like that. By the way, I didn't say, but Craig Conover was supposed to be at House of Stassi event, but all of that travel stuff with New York made him not be able to make it. And also Josh the Roni Stan was dealing with the same exact thing. I think he was coming back from Charleston. He was with all of the Southern hospitality people. But she said, I'm nice to everybody, but I'm sorry, Rodrigo. We're doing Fan Fest together. Let's make up. I've heard otherwise. I was at BravoCon and I sat next to this adorable gay couple and they were asking me like who my favorites were for each city. And I said my favorite in Orange County is Shannon. And they said that she wasn't very nice. I think she's not very nice unless she knows who you are. And a producer recently said that she puts on a face when the cameras start rolling, that she's like a psycho until the camera is like playing. And I don't like to hear that. In Summer House news, Yahoo posted an adorable little few videos of Kyle Cook as a weatherman with his lover boy. It's so cute if you want to go look at it. And Sierra was on Jimmy Fallon the other night with Shabuzi. She was dancing with him. And I don't think that, I think that Sierra's very talented. She did a great job in that music video. Do I think that she's like an A+ actress? Probably not. And so that's why I think that they actually have feelings for each other, because of the look in both of their eyes, especially Shabuzi. Like, when they make eye contact, there is like a serious chemistry. Okay. And I know that PR companies do this sort of thing, and this is what they do. Like, I get it. She wouldn't be on stage if it wasn't that situation. What I'm saying is, I think there's also chemistry. Okay? And I don't think I'm wrong. Also, Chanel Ayan ships. And I trust Chanel Ayan. Sierra needs to listen to Chanel Ayan. I want to know what Rihanna thinks about Shabuzi. Let's set her up with somebody. I think like all of the Summer House drama is over. In the City is officially over. Think we're moving on. It's time. Like, I think that she could start dating. I think that I don't know what she's feeling inside. She just dealt with a lot. But I think we're getting closer to the point where she might feel comfortable dating. Let's bring Shabuzi to the Summer House with Sally. All right, let's get into the Bravoholic Breakdown. Starting with Atlanta. This was one of the most interesting episodes at this Halloween party. And I loved K. Michelle saying that she doesn't celebrate Halloween, and she celebrates like Holy Halloween and her Hallelujah Halloween instead. So funny. I love K. Michelle. I hope she's on next season. I never want her off of our cameras. I freaking love her. Also, apparently one of the girls at the reunion is wearing a $750,000 outfit. They were saying dress, I thought, in this article, but I think it's probably the jewelry that Phaedra's not wearing in her pictures that she posted. But K. Michelle says that her toes are long as hell on this episode. And she said that she won't let America see them. I want to see them now. I'm not like I don't like feet, but like, how long are we talking here? She said she could play a piano. So Shamia is like insane and asked Portia to make butt molds or something like that for her Halloween party. And it's like, how do you think that you could even, I listen, I'm not an expert and I'm not a doctor, but I just think that's a narcissistic move to text somebody after you do something so horrible, and text something to feel them out, to see like, oh, can I slide by and be your friend now? Because like in the beginning of the season, she was standing her ground, Shamia, and not inviting Portia to her party. And now all of a sudden you want to invite her after you like destroyed her and destroyed your friendship? What planet are you on thinking that that's going to work? There's something deeply wrong with her. Like, she has lost it. She's weird. She gives me such a creepy vibe. Very weird. Like, I'm not kidding. She wants to be Portia. She wants her life. But I loved the text that Portia sent Shamia, like, our friendship is over. Enjoy your party. I'm not coming. Move on. Like get a life. And the fact that Shamia is shocked by that and thinks that the other girls are going to be on her side when she tells them about that. No, you deserve every word. When Aiden was with Phaedra at one point, and he said that he wants to smell edible, I'm just not ready for Aiden to be an adult yet. And like that he was shirtless in the beginning of the season. Like, you are still a baby, please. You just went to kindergarten. You just got dropped off at kindergarten. K. Michelle and Shamia sit down at one point, and she tells Shamia that she thinks that she is kind of like this F the world vibe, and that she used to be fun-loving Shamia and that she doesn't see her anymore. And I think she really needs to hear that. Like, are you okay? Seriously, I think there's something going on in her marriage. I'm going to call it. I think there is something weird going on in her marriage. And I think that she is sneaking around. I think she is cheating on her husband. But I wouldn't be surprised if he was like the problem. I don't know what it is, but I think she's pretending, and she wants like this perfect life, and she has this huge house and all this money, and I think she's sad. But she was getting emotional at one point, saying that she misses her friendship, that like that was her person. And it's like, if that's your person, why wouldn't you do anything to fix it? Why wouldn't you be like, I'll do anything. I want this friendship back, instead of throwing her mom and her daughter. I mean, what are we doing? And at the same time, Portia is not dealing with the drama, and she is selling homes and buying people's homes, and just like elevating her life. And then like probably very soon after this, she was picked for Ultimate Girls Trip. And it's like, you are not going to be Portia, okay? You can try to take her down. It's not going to happen. But the party for her rum thing, and the fact that she was dressed up as an avatar, I think she wants to be Sierra Miller, and then she was trying to make her husband be an avatar, and he wouldn't even put the face makeup on. I'd be like, then don't even be an avatar. That's like don't even put the sweatshirt on and the gloves or whatever the heck he's wearing. Don't even try. Just be yourself then, because this is just like you're halfway doing it. And Portia's boyfriend, that guy saying that he's in love with her and like in front of other people and not to her personally, like I'm getting weird vibes. I think she picked the right person to be with. I don't get a weird vibe from Sway at all. But from him, I'm getting like a Shamia vibe. Like he wants to benefit from Portia's life. Love bombing. Phaedra dressing up as the godfather for that party. Her whole like demeanor changed with that mustache and that jacket. Like the way that she was just sitting was so funny. But that whole point when they were sitting down on like that bench outside and that Tinkerbell girl was there and they're talking about her husband, it was just so weird. Like, I don't think that she got properly upset about hearing that Shamia might have slept with her husband. That was a really weird scene that she just happened to be sitting there. Do we even know her name? By the way, Shamia totally slept with that guy. And why does he have a green beard? Also, that butt mold game was funny where they were guessing who, but you could tell that they were molding some of the butts with them sitting down, right? They had to have been sitting down. They were like smushed. Those were not done properly. In the city reunion, the final episode, to be honest with you, now I am excited that this show is over for right now. I think the show has a lot of potential. Ooh, I need to make cast projections. I need to write that down. Typically I do that right after the final episode, but I was flying back from New York and exhausted. I couldn't even tell that Brittany's dress was ugly, okay? But I'm excited to move on from the Scamanda stuff, and I'm excited for hopefully a second season of In the City where the focus isn't about Scamanda. You know, not entirely. We'll see what happens. But I loved when, I made a whole post about this, but I loved when Andy was, you know, he was asking the right question at the right moment about how Amanda was apologizing to Danielle perfectly. And it's like, why can't you apologize to Sierra literally like at all? At all. And her excuse was so lame since she was interrupted and she got defensive. No, I really think that she thought that she was going to get off easy and like that her one apology was going to work. No, it's not going to work. You did a horrible thing to your friend who has been amazing to you. It's not just like a normal like friendship. Oh, we'll see each other here and there. Sierra had her back so hard. Anyways, we've gone over it, but she needs to apologize to Sierra publicly, write her a note. I know your text messages doesn't go through, but like your text message won't go through, but there's other ways to do it. It was really interesting, the breakdown between Danielle and Lindsay about just everything that Danielle has done to her over the years. And I do think that Danielle was making a lot of sense. Like Danielle dated Carl first, like for a few months, and then Lindsay had him for like a couple seconds. And then I guess she didn't give him like a full-blown hand Jay, but it was like a over the pants situation. And it's like, maybe Lindsay doesn't need to be mad about that if she was the second woman in the first place. But I do think that Danielle has been a bad friend. Like specifically, I'm surprised they didn't mention the engagement party because that was ridiculous. And I like that Kyle had Lindsay's back because Danielle needed to be checked. And I wonder if this really is the end of Lindsay and Danielle arguing because they both have kids now. Danielle has a husband. I mean, they're going to get married. I don't see her not getting married to this man. They seem obsessed with each other. I think she found her match. And maybe because of that, she's going to be a happier person. And maybe she probably feels like she has the one up on Lindsay right now because she's married. She has a guy. And I mean, I feel like this is just the way that Danielle thinks. So she's going to be fine with Lindsay because she doesn't feel behind. And I think she felt behind before because Lindsay was with Carl. But it should be interesting to see how things go. Because eventually Lindsay's going to find somebody. And is Danielle going to hate that? And the whole pink dress thing, Okay, I'm on Danielle's side about it because she did. You know what? I don't think that I'm on either side. I'm in the middle because Danielle did text her and ask, okay, and showed that it was pink, said it's light pink. And Yvonne said it's fine. Danielle put her in an awkward position even asking. Okay, I agree with that. If she thinks it's questionable, don't wear it. Don't send the picture. However, Yvonne shouldn't have said looks great. She should have said, you know what? It's a little close. Right? It's both of them. And I do think it's light pink and the lighting made it look white. This is both of you issue. It's both of you. And are we going to see Amanda and Danielle be friends if Amanda's on next season? That's weird to think about because they're both friends with Katie DeLuca, the girl that never really showed up on the episodes. The one episode where she, whatever. Are they all going to be friends together now? And I'm going to be I don't know. I don't know what I want. I don't know if I want Amanda back on the show or not. I think one season off would be fine. But you guys, you know that I always root for the drama. Me even wanting Jen Shaw back, I know that's insane. But it's because I want to see this drama. Do I think that the bad people deserve to be on television? No. There's something crooked in my brain that I want to watch these crazies and what's going to happen. And at one point, Owen was upset with everybody because they were asking questions specifically on camera and they don't ask about them now, but he asked them not to ask anymore. So number one, yeah, they're trying to make a TV show. You are correct. You are correct. They are acting like that because the camera's on. Number two, you did ask them to stop. And I do think in a way, Gavin is kind of growing on me. I think at first he was kind of like a Janet where he was trying too hard and he was mixing stuff up. But you guys, he did bring a lot of drama to the table and a lot of conversations that needed to happen were brought to the table. And it was interesting hearing Amanda's side to things with Kyle. Like, I think they're both the problem and no matter what, they needed to end. And on some level, I wonder if Kyle was pushing Amanda to divorce him by doing the DJ stuff and everything, because he didn't want to be the one to do it. Because think about it. We already kind of hated him back then. And if he were the one to leave her, he could have gotten destroyed. Oh my God. And this just hit me that he probably thought that he could have been kicked off the show or that it would have been so horrible to watch. I feel like they both felt stuck because of the show and their friend group and that they do care about each other as friends. Like they should have just stayed friends. But I made a post about it because back in the day, we wanted Amanda to date Jesse because Jesse was very flirty. And so I don't know if we would have been upset with her for dating West if there was no connection to Sierra. Do you get what I'm saying? If Sierra wasn't a factor, would we have cared? I don't know. But apparently they were not completely not having sex. They had sex 3 times in 4 years. That's insane. How did they stay married this long? It should be studied. Like, I want a full detailed description as to what they were feeling at what time and why they chose to stay together. When they hated each other, they hated the sloppiness, the working, the fact that he told her to read the entrepreneur book. LOL. And Amanda knows that it's diabolical that she had Sierra and Wes on the show. She knows that it's diabolical. She said it. She knows exactly what she was doing, and she knows that she had a crush on Wes at this point. The Valley Season 3 finale. I just made a post about this, about Janet throwing that drink. And I don't really know how it got to that point, but I think she was feeling protective of Jason because he was injured and Danny was kind of saying that he would fight him. But I don't think that that was the right thing to do because that just like escalates the matter. And you're kind of showing that, you were just talking about assault and then you were mad at Danny for assault and then you're doing the same thing. But she was saying a bunch of stuff online about how she's not going to deny those words and make it about those words, that she knows what she did. But it's also very interesting that Kristen had Danny's back immediately and didn't know like what happened. Very odd. And I'm hoping that this whole situation flips and he can see how she's handling it and that they can finally have a discussion and she can apologize to him and he can apologize to her and we can never talk about it again. But it was interesting hearing Nia tell Lala that she was raised by her dad. I did not know that. And I made a post about this too, that Luke is disgusting the way that he treats Kristen and that he's pushing her to have another child right now after everything she's gone through with fertility and breastfeeding and giving birth and postpartum, and you're just thinking about yourself and you're gross. And Jesse and Lacey went to a fertility clinic for Lacey's eggs, and you know what? I want them to get married and have babies. I do. But it is also so funny that Jesse and Michelle together, they kind of still like act the same with each other. Like they kind of have nicer, happier moments than they did when they were married. But they still fight because Michelle introduced Isabella to a guy she was dating. But I understand what she's saying, that she was like selling houses and he happened to be there from what she's saying. But we know now that, as you know, the last time that Michelle was on Watch What Happens Live, that Isabella did not meet Dr. Dre yet. That I think they've decided to take things slower. But Janet made a great point before throwing the drink that Jason said that if that's what he did to a woman when he was drunk, that he would never drink again. And that's actually the proper response, because not only are you grabbing somebody, you are married. That's not good. And like, if you want to have a couple drinks, go for it. But if you're not able to do that, then I think that you have a problem. And there is something so weird about the pull that Nia has over Kristen. It's very weird that she's listening to Nia over Zach and Brittany, and that they're like forcing Zach to not be friends with Janet. It's very weird. What makes you think that your friendship's going to last if you're forcing somebody to do something that they don't want to do? Next Gen NYC. No surprise, Georgia eats food in bed. I used to do that before kids. I don't think it's that crazy. We used to literally go out the night before, be a little bit hungover, stay in bed, order Thai food, lay a towel down, and eat it in our bed. We did that frequently. Not anymore. I haven't eaten in my bed in like 4 years, but I don't think it's that crazy of a thing. But Amira thinks that Georgia and Charlie are both villains. Like, she's not giving Georgia a pass just for telling her that. And Shai thinks that Ariana's cute. Everybody in the group is in love with Ariana. And then we hear that Ava just broke up with her boyfriend. Poor thing. I mean, I think this is necessary for her, because I think she's like, her and Ariana are like the next it girls. But she had some red flags, and her intuition was telling her that he was like cheating on her. It's so sad, and she's still living at his place, and she needs to get out. And I wonder how her dad doesn't have any money. Like, what is going on? So Charlie and Amira talk, and I can't believe that she's forgiving him, because she says that she doesn't forgive anyone. Why Charlie? I don't get it. And at one point I was looking down, taking notes, and I heard Teresa's voice, and I'm Team Gorga, but I understand that Teresa made New Jersey. Okay, I think she is the queen of New Jersey, but I'm Team Gorga. Does that make sense? And seeing Gia talk about her family and what she has gone through was so nostalgic for me. And just seeing Joe Giudice on the phone, and even though he did a horrible thing, and, he deserved to be deported and all these things, I miss Joe Giudice. And, like, my softy side of me thinks that he needs to be back on this show. And I guess he's only going to be back on the show via FaceTime. But, my brain is a little twisted when it comes to TV. I just talked about Jen Shaw, so you get what I'm saying. It's like I give people a pass. Oh, you're a demon? Come on television. I want to see what you have to say. But it's so interesting that this Liam guy has never taken Ariana on a date before, and that he's introducing her to his family and like wanting to go. It's very, very quick. Is that a form of love bombing? Because take her out on a date first. And Riley at one point says that she misses the South and that it's cheaper down there. But weren't you just talking about how the people can't afford a Birkin, and now you're talking about how things are cheaper? Sounds a little bit, hypocritical. Real Housewives of Orange County. Emily and Gina, these two girlies have been on TV for so long. I like Gina more than Emily. I feel like Emily should just be a friend of. I've said it a million times. I don't really get why they're both there. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't really think that Emily brings that much, but she buys her. I mean, their friendship is cute, that she bought her a 2-hooded hoodie. They love each other that much. But yeah, Emily's boring. She's more boring skinny. And Shannon and Tamra seem to be making huge strides. And Shannon said on Watch What Happens Live last night that they had an hour and 51-minute phone call the other day. So I feel like they're back. I mean, at some point you've got to mature, right? And I made a post about this very recently, but I think that Jen and Tamara are obsessed with each other and they should just be friends. And that they're morphing into the same person. And I don't get why they're not friends. And Jen kisses her butt and thinks that she sees like changes in her and turns against Katie Janela and Heather Dubrow and Shannon Bedore because she simply threw her a bridal shower. But you'll give Tamara Judge all of these chances and Tamara Judge has tried to destroy your life and your marriage? It was so wild to see Vicky's son, full-blown adult. Poor Vicky. That she doesn't feel close to her kids, that they're both somewhere else. I think she needs to move close to one of them. And then if, the other one wants to visit, you're all together. I feel like that's the answer. But I liked that boxing party where they all wrote down something that they didn't like about each other. It could have gone so bad, but I think it went kind of well. But yeah, Jen is giving me a little bit of a heebie-jeebie. Obsessive with Tamara, trying to get information on Heather's friendship with Tamara for her benefit very clearly. She wants to be best friends with Tamara. She does. And finally, let's get into House of Stassi, the first 2 episodes that aired on Freeform on Wednesday. Personally thought it was absolute gold. The way that they filmed it, the way that they had little words in the corner, like they said, dark passenger activated, like little notes. And the fact that we know that Stassi is actually friends with every single one of these people and they're all connected and they're all together at all times. That's what a TV show should be about. And that she knows that her and Katie, they're friendship soulmates and that they were having their issues. And instead of, calling each other on the phone, she's like, we need to make a TV show here. Let's make up and do it on screen. That's what I'm here for. And also that it was a surprise that we're going to get to see Ariana on episode 3. By the way, some of you have probably already seen all 7 episodes. They're all up on Hulu, but I'm trying to take it I think I'm going to take it week by week, episode by episode. So the first 2 that aired on Freeform, and then next week is another episode. I'm going to try and just spread it all out because not everyone has Hulu. So I'm going to play the ones that are on Freeform. Or, I'm going to talk about it once it airs on Freeform. It's what I think I've decided to do. But I liked that she just covered the 2020 mess of it all and didn't pretend like it didn't happen. And then when her and Katie were talking, they were talking about Vanderpump Rules. They're not pretending that their life isn't real and that they're not on TV. I hate when there's things where it's obviously that was planned and produced. Can we just talk about it? Just talk about it. I like when the fourth wall is broken. Even on Ultimate Girls Trip, I feel like they broke the fourth wall a lot more. And I like that. And it was interesting to hear that Disney and Hulu is who reunited her with Lisa Vanderpump and did the villa thing. I always wondered how that happened, and it was Disney that put them back together, and I think that was a genius choice. But she says that she's the Kris Jenner of her family. I think she is the Kim Kardashian, because Kim is the reason that they're all on television. She is. She's the center of it all. I know that Kris does a lot of it, but you're not Kris Jenner. You are Kim Kardashian. And poor Beau. I've been a Beau in my marriage, and I've been a Stassi in my marriage. I used to be the Beau. And now I think I'm a mix of them, but I understand both sides because, I go to events and stuff like that. I leave my husband with the kids for these events and I do content creation and I'm trying to live my dreams just like Stassi. And at one point I was a stay-at-home mom and that's all I did. I just took care of the house, took care of my husband, took care of the kids. That's all I did, period. And I did pretty much everything around the house except for the garbage. And so I understand how Beau feels and how exhausting it feels and how you want to have something for yourself. But I also understand Stassi being well, I need you. And the stuff that she does, she gets paid a lot of money and he just wants to do something and feel whole. And I really hope that this show helps because it's he's doing it with his family and friends too, with his sister, his friend, And I love the Taylors on TV. And the fact that Taylor Strecker has a podcast with Stassi, it's the perfect thing that they can talk about the show together. And Beau and his friend Rob are exhausted with each other, but I think it's because they're living such separate lives, such different lives. like Katie and Stassi, like they're not seeing each other properly because they're in such separate, different places. And I think Beau is kind of bitter that Rob has all the freedom in the world and Beau doesn't feel free at all. And I'm glad they covered that tattoo story that was on the Vanderpump Villa, because it's deeper than the tattoo. She doesn't feel like he's fully picking her, but then at the same time, it's like he's obviously fully picking you because he's a stay-at-home dad right now. You know, they've got a lot to work out, and we're going to watch all of it. And I loved getting to see Stassi go to events like the Unwell event for Alex Cooper. She went to a Paris Hilton party. She talked to the Nader sisters, and she got to talk to Jessie from Mormon Wives, who she's like friends with because she was hosting the reunion, and obviously Vanderpump Villa. But I love how she just like shades Sheena throughout. And Jessie was like, yeah, she wants to be on Mormon Wives, and pretended that Brock is Mormon to get on the show. And that she said that she's done with Bravo, but in reality, I think Bravo's done with her. Like, Bravo's done with her and Sandoval and Jax. But it really is wild that Stassi and Katie hadn't talked for a year and a half. And Katie was crying about not knowing Messer, her son, which was so sad. And the fact that Beau isn't a fan of Katie is so interesting. I found that to be so interesting. And I think it's because Stassi was a different person back then. She was completely, like, the Stassi that we all know is still inside of her. I just think she's a more mature version of that. And Beau is afraid that Katie's going to bring out the old stuff in her. And it was so Stassi of her to get upset with her little sister for having a better costume. And she did have a better costume. I hated Stassi's like bumps on her face. I hated it. I did not care for her costume. But I do think that part of the reason why Stassi didn't want to be friends with Katie anymore is because she was on the show that she got fired from. And that Katie was talking all about it. And I think she was jealous that Katie was going out, you know, like she said, you went out like the hero. And Stassi obviously did not. And I think on some level she was jealous of that. And I love how she tells her sister how it is. That she's like, you're upset about your own stuff. And that her sister should have asked. It's not like Stassi's her mom or something. Like, I'm coming home. Like, that's your sister. She has a lot going on. She doesn't need you moving in. And I think that Katie is the only person on the planet that can Stassi. Like, she told her, like, you only let people in your life that are on your payroll or, like, are your child. And I don't really disagree, other than Katie, I guess. And Christina Kelly. But it seems like they made up. Like, they really handled that well. And I loved when they said that Vanderpump Rules used to make the girls look insane and cover for the boys. And that could not be more spot on. And that is exactly why Vanderpump Rules got rebooted. Because that's what they were trying to do with Sandoval. And then on episode 2, Beau talks more about wanting to go Botox. I can't like say that without thinking about Botox. Beau talks about wanting to go back to work. And I get him. I think that he wants to have something for himself. I don't think that he needs a 9-to-5 anymore. I don't think he needs something that gets him out. Like, I think maybe he needs a hobby. Maybe he needs a show. Maybe he needs to hang out with friends more. Maybe they need a nanny to help more so he can do more things. Or maybe he needs something that he can make money on that isn't like influencer stuff or isn't all about Stassi. Do you know what I mean? And it kind of grosses me out, Rob and Georgie. I think he's way too old for her. And I don't think that they mesh. I don't like it at all. But then Georgie and Georgia are sharing a bed. And they wipe dead skin off of the sheets. What are we talking about? I don't understand. And the friendship between Beau and his sister is so interesting. And it's because they're half siblings. And she grew up in Italy. And so I think that they just are so different. And he can't say no to her because he loves her so much. And I think she's just a little bit extra and just a really sweet person. I don't know. And that part with Taylor and Beau, when he's showing her the baby coming out of the hoo-ha, and he licked his fingers to try and get the baby out of the hoo-ha. And I'm like, this is too much. That was gross. But I think he was kind of having fun for like the first time the entire like 2 episodes. But Beau and his friend Rob have conflict because they were fighting about sports or something. But I think for guys, they really handled that well. Congratulations to them. They had like a real conversation. And they seem to be friends again, but Stassi's like, I need them to get along because I need Beau to like this show. I mean, how could you not just take it from Stassi and be like, you know what? Like, she's giving everybody their own careers. Not that Taylor Strecker didn't already have her career and Beau had a career, but she's making it easier for everyone to do this together. It does seem a little bit like Stassi's way or the highway, but like, is she wrong? And the fact that Beau had to cry to Taylor Strecker about wanting to go back to work because he feels like he can't talk to Stassi, and he did try to talk to Stassi at the villa, but she was like, no. And she wasn't hearing him out. But this time I think she actually was hearing him out when she talked to him about it. And they've got to be figuring this thing out. They've got to figure it out. He has to have something of his own. He can't just be stuck at home with the kids all the time. It's really hard. Stay-at-home moms out there. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. And I never understood people that said going to work is like a break. But it's not, but it is. It's like you're being an adult rather than just talking to kids all day. Do you get what I'm saying? Both things are work. And both things can be fun. They're just completely different things. Like, you need a break from the one thing. Like, I don't want to work all day either. I want to go see my kids really soon. I'm going to go see them in like 5 minutes. I can't wait to see them. But then it's like, when I'm with them, I also can't wait to get my work done. And there's a balance. Stassi says in the end that she thinks that he's going to leave her for a younger woman who likes physical touch. I mean, it can't be only Stassi's way. She's got to like give him a hug. That's all he wants, right? But I hope that you guys loved it as much as I did, because I'm going to be talking about it every week. Every week that it comes out on Hulu, every week that it comes out on Freeform, I'll talk about it here. All right, you guys, that's it. That was a lot of information. And no, Tori the Bravoholic, we miss him. I can't wait to talk to him next week about all of this stuff. He needs to catch up on House of Stassi. I told him. He says that he wants to be a stay-at-home dad, and I think he needs to watch Beau and see if he agrees with that, because it's not fun all the time. It's really hard. So anyways, I had the best week and also the most exhausting week, and I need to go to sleep soon. I'm going to sleep this weekend. That's what I'm going to do. Thank you guys so much for listening. I'll let you guys know what happens this weekend. Next week, I think we're going to do nothing, and I can't wait. All right, guys, thanks for listening. Bye. Okay, I think I've said enough. If you liked what you heard, please rate, review, subscribe, follow, all the things. And that's what Lindsay says.